They thought my farm was just some playground for their entertainment, but they had no idea the scale of what they were messing with. I'd spent my entire life building my farm into something special. It wasn't just rows of crops and a few animals. My land supplied vegetables, dairy, and meat to half the countryside. Generations of families depended on what we produce. But none of that mattered to Karen, the newly elected HOA president. She marched onto my property one afternoon with a group of board members, snapping pictures like she owned the place. "This isn't a real farm," she declared. "With all these animals and visitors, it's basically a public zoo. From today, this property is under HOA regulation." I laughed. "Karen, this land is older than your HOA, and trust me, you don't have the authority you think you do." She didn't listen. Within a week, I had letters demanding that I pay zoo fees, register for permits, and even open my gates for neighborhood tours. Then she went too far. She plastered flyers around town labeling my property a public attraction. The chaos started immediately. Strangers drove in, crowding my fields. Families with kids tried to feed my cattle. Some even climbed fences, endangering themselves and my animals. My workers were furious, and production nearly halted. That's when I called in my connections. The next morning, convoys of state agricultural officials rolled onto my land. With them came county law enforcement and a local news crew. Karen, standing smugly at the fence, suddenly looked like she had swallowed a lemon. One official addressed her directly. "Ma'am, this is a registered agricultural hub recognized by the State Food Authority. This farm supplies essential goods to more than 200,000 residents. By interfering, you've disrupted critical food distribution." Karen stammered. "I thought it was just a hobby farm." "Wrong," the officer cut her off. "You've caused public endangerment. You'll be fined heavily, and your HOA is facing an investigation." The news aired that night. Karen became a laughingstock. Her face replayed as officials called her actions reckless and dangerous. By the end of the month, she was removed from the HOA board. My farm returned to peace, and the community stood by me stronger than ever. As I watched the sunset over my fields, I couldn't help but smile. Karen wanted to turn my life's work into a spectacle. Instead, she turned herself into one.
I'm Liam. Subscribe for more HOA madness. Thanks.